here until this game. I mean, even most of the game, you looked really good out there, and then you got, an ankle, I think it was. What do you recall of your performance, and then maybe the frustration that followed with the injury?
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of struggling early on, but I mean, I was having decent success running the football, and we were driving down the field, and yeah, I just remember going down on like an outside zone play, and then I was just so frustrated, being hurt because I wanted to be out there with the team and do whatever I could, to help us get a victory, especially going into a hostile environment like that. And even though I couldn't come back in the game and play, I was rooting on my teammates, rooting on everybody to keep pushing and pull out the victory.
What do you recall of CJ's performance that day, especially in the first half where things were really down and he almost got sacked for a safety and then kind of led you guys up the field to tie the game?
Yeah, I mean, he played fantastic. He made big plays for us the entire game. I mean, he got us out of the backup situation by having a big run. He threw that back shoulder fade ball to Tavon in the end zone, and he made plenty of plays with his feet and obviously with his arm also. And he did plenty of things that really got us really going, really gave us some momentum and gave us some more hope going into the second half and in the fourth quarter and such.
Sean, going into the game, do you guys know a substitution pattern, or is it more just a feel for how the game's going between you and Akron?
We kind of know, like, I guess we kind of have a pattern. I mean, we know what certain type of plays that we'll get, but I mean, in the game, you never really know what's going to get called, so it's almost like a flow thing. Coach White pretty much almost lets us decide who goes in and whatnot, but obviously if he wants a certain person in for a certain play, I mean, he'll get them in. But I mean, it's a lot of flow when it comes up to the game time, but we also do have a pretty general idea of what kind of plays that we'll get and when we'll be in the game.
LeShun, are you the kind of back that would prefer maybe 20, 25 carries to get in the flow, or is it better for you to have a guy like Akron come in so you guys are both, I guess, fresher?
I like the idea of having Akron come in and having us fresh whenever we touch the ball. I mean, if Coach wanted me to get 20 to 25 carries, I mean, I'd obviously be more than willing to do it. But right now, I think we have a good situation right now with me and Akron, be able to go in and alternate, and when we have the opportunity to go out there and make plays, so we're each fresh, and we're not getting wore down throughout the game or throughout the season.
Being an out-of-state kid, what have you kind of learned about this rivalry through your time here?
I mean, it's wild. I mean, it's big time. I mean, it's nothing that I've really ever personally experienced before. I mean, like, obviously growing up in Ohio, everything is Ohio State versus Michigan. But, I mean, coming here, I mean, it's a totally different experience, with the hype around the game and all the Iowans, they always try to claim it's a Hawkeye State, and then obviously the Cyclones don't like that kind of stuff and whatnot. With it being an in-state rivalry, I think it really makes it amps up the game a lot more because you obviously want bragging rights over the state and over the trophy and such. So just being an out-of-state kid and coming here and learning more about the Iowa State rivalry has really been an interesting time over the past few years.
Will the night game kind of amp that up a little more? What will that do to it?
Yeah, night game definitely amp it up, especially being at Kinnick. Everybody knows that night games at Kinnick are electric, and with it being the in-state rivals, I think it's just only going to amp it up even more. So we got to make sure that we can't let the noise and everything get to us. We got to make sure we are focused on our assignments and focused on our jobs, so we can go out there on Saturday and be successful.
Are there certain guys, in the locker room that really get fired up about this particular game, like in-state guys? We don't have to name them.
I mean, I don't think no one really will show it really, but I know for sure there's a handful of in-state guys that obviously they want to go and they obviously want to kick the crap out of Iowa State, obviously. Because they're from Iowa, they know it's a big deal. I mean, everybody knows it's a big deal. It's a big game. You're playing for a trophy. You're playing for state bragging rights. So, yeah, there's plenty of people that get hyped up. And it's not just the in-state kids, it's out-of-state kids as well. So.
The other day, Akram said that he was the one who was supposed to run on the field for your sweep that you scored on, and you got on the field late, and you ran it. I mean, it's kind of funny in retrospect because you scored. But in some ways, does that allow you to kind of showcase that you can get outside, you can, run a sweep and score?
Yeah. Obviously, most of my game is built off of power and breaking tackles and stuff like that. But yeah, feel like I do have the ability to get outside and show a little bit of speed and break some long runs. So like whenever I do get the opportunity, I try to make the most of it.
And Germanique had a pretty good block on your play. I mean, I think he drove his guy 10 yards all the way inside the 10. I mean, that's for a guy you kind of look at him, he doesn't look that big or anything, but just seems to really have a lot of heart.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big time block. That was one of the things that I was noticing, like while I was running, because like once I got in the open field, I mean, I still saw Germ blocking way down the field, and he was just been doing an excellent job, especially this year, being in a more prominent role ever since Devon left. So, we practice blocking downfield, and we know that without the receivers continuing to block downfield, that's how explosive plays get made. And Coach Kennedy and Coach Davis always preach to receivers that their job is very important no matter what on the run play. So I think it's just you got to give him credit for going balls out and continue to finish the play.
Sean, not your first night game. What kind of game day changes and routines this make? Is it something where you shift it off by a good 7 hours?
Yeah, you kind of pace everything a little bit because you can't play the game before the game. So in the morning and even early in the afternoon, you can't be thinking about everything so heavy and draining your energy before we even get to the warm up. So you gotta know that you gotta stay relaxed. You gotta try and find things to probably keep your mind off the game a little bit. To get away, maybe play some games on your phone or something like that. Watch some TV.
Watch the 11 o'clock to 2:30 games.
Yeah, I usually will. If we have the opportunity. I mean, obviously we'll have meetings and stuff like that in between. But I just try to relax, lay down, maybe even get a nap in. So I'm fresh and ready to go come game time.
Anything else? All right.